first we need to find our zipper. Okay. Now there are two ways to put on this zipper. Okay, you can use this zipper foot, right? This one, okay, or you could use the regular left and right zipper foot. Okay, these ones. Now I prefer to use this because I can see when I'm stitching, right? With this one, you can't really see the seam when you're stitching because it's inside, right? You always want control when you're sewing. You don't want to stitch and by the end you realize that, oh, it's not straight or it's too close to the teeth. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm pressing the zipper open. The teeth, I'm just pressing it down, right? Making it flat. Okay, so open your zipper.
I have a question. Doesn't it melt the plastic?
No.
No.
This is one of the most strongest plastic.
Oh.
It doesn't melt. Okay. So we press it open flat. Okay. First open your zipper. Okay. And then press the wedge. Press open. Okay. So for your zippers, let's say your zipper length is from maybe the back to where your zipper notches is 8. Probably you always have to buy a longer zipper. Okay, so you at least buy 9, 9.5, 10. Okay, the longer the better because you can always clip it, right, and finish it off nicely. It's even better to buy longer because you don't have the teeth distracting you when you're stitching, right? At the end of the day, you can always whip up these designs, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so you open it, right? Good. Okay, most of what I'm teaching you are not factory of sewing, right? Factory, nobody has time for this, right? But it's for you to be able to make quality good garments, okay? Okay. Now we have to place our zipper, okay? This is also one tricky part. Okay, you want to make sure that the zipper head is out. Okay, place it at how it would finish. Okay, then this is the right side. Okay, right side to the right side of the garment, right? Okay, so now the seam allowance at the top is a quarter. Okay, so we're going to mark our quarter, okay, and we are going to make sure that the zipper teeth, okay, the stopper, okay, there's a little stopper at the end of the zipper, okay, that sits an 8 below our quarter inch. Okay, so basically our stopper is 3/8 from the edge of the top, right? So our seam allowance at the top is a quarter, right? Our stopper has to sit an 8 below that stopper, okay? So let's say your seam allowance at the top is 1/2 inch. Your stopper comes down how much? 1/8, okay? So in total, how much are you pushing your zipper stopper down? 5/8, right? Because 1/8, so always your seam allowance plus 1/8. That's where your zipper stopper ends, because you don't want your zipper stopper to interfere with your seam when you're stitching, right? You want it to be a little bit away from it, okay? Even if it's a quarter, that's fine because you can always use a hook and eye to close it, okay? But don't get your stopper into the seam unless you are trying to finish it without the stopper. Sometimes you can push the stopper in, but it depends on how you finish it, okay? So now our seam allowance is 1/2 inch, okay? Our seam allowance is 1/2 inch. The width of our zipper, okay, is also 1/2 inch, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match the edge, okay, to it, making sure that my stopper is 5/8 below, okay? Then I'm just going to base it down. Okay, I'm going to base it all the way to the end of my zipper notch. Make sure that your edge is straight. Okay, any questions there so far? So right side to right side, our stopper has to be an 8 before below our seam allowance, okay, which is a quarter. Okay, then we base the edge all the way to our notch. Okay, you can go down a little bit if you want. Okay, so now we want to make sure that our seam on the left matches with our seam on the right, right? Okay, so I'm going to mark. Okay, I'm going to mark where my seam ends on the zipper. Okay, I'm going to transfer that seam line onto my zipper. Okay, I'm going to close it. Okay, then transfer the mark onto the opposite side of the zipper. Okay, any questions? Okay, so now I know that my seam ends on this line, right? Okay, so first thing, right side together. Okay, I'm going to mark where I marked, okay, where the seam ends. I'm going to match it to the seam. Okay, then I'm going to base it down. Okay, you want to secure that first. Okay. Okay, maybe 1/2 inch down, 1/2 inch up, just secure it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to test to see if it's in line. Okay, so when I close it, right, it's matching. Okay, so I know that now it's in place and I can stitch the zipper. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the bottom. Now this is the tricky part. That's why you always want your zipper to be a little bit longer, okay? Because it's difficult for the zipper to get closer to the head, right? Okay, so one mark again. Okay, so where my zipper notch ends, okay, I'm going to also mark on my zipper, okay, so that I am able to also match that side to the notch. Okay, remember that even if it's 1/8 off, it's going to shift your zipper a bit, right? So you want to make sure that you are aligning your zipper notch and then your waistline. Okay, I know that this is where my zipper ends. I'm going to match that to my zipper notch. Close it a bit. Remember that we are only basting it down. Okay. Okay. When you stitch up a bit, okay, just hold it in place. Push your zipper head down. Okay. Then we come back to finish it. Also make sure that when you're doing all this, the waistline seam is pressed down, okay? Okay, please clip off all your excess threads. Okay, so now my zipper is based in, right, on both sides. Okay, so now we can stitch our zipper. We're going to use our